Hey guys, Tom Bullington here with Coldwell Banker Realty and Hastings Happenings. Wanted to check in with you today to let you in on a few questions that I am getting from prospective clients who are either looking to buy a home or looking to sell. And the biggest question by far is what's going to happen with those interest rates? So the first thing, obviously, to tell someone when they ask me that is I have no idea. I really don't. Last year, we thought things were going to be going down lower, maybe in the fives. By May last year, that didn't happen. We were in the sixes, in the sevens last year. We've gotten down into the low sixes here in the last couple months, but now we're at about 7% as your average 30-year fixed conventional loan. So what does that mean for buyers? Well, you're going to get less house for your dollar. Just putting it out there. You're going to pay more and get maybe a little bit less of a house than what you wanted. Now, does that mean you're going to have to buy a bad house or a house that doesn't have the updates, doesn't have all of that? Not necessarily. Depends on what your price range is. You may be looking at maybe a couple of years ago, you were saying, well, wow, we could afford a new construction home. We could buy something that's freshly built, that is in our price range, and we could be paying about 3% interest. Excellent. Who wouldn't do that, right, if you want a new construction home? Nowadays, a little bit more challenging to do that. You may have to sacrifice a little bit. Do you have to sacrifice a lot? Not necessarily. If you didn't purchase 2 years ago, but you are purchasing now, maybe you've saved up a little bit more money in that time frame. But you're definitely going to have to pay more per month, depending on what your down payment is, depending on what your interest rate is, things like that. Obviously, interest rates are the averages. So when I come on here and I talk about averages, we're talking about the averages for the country. So, and of course, no one is average, right? Especially in Minnesota, we're all above average. But what I'm seeing with clients is it all depends on their credit rating. It depends on their employment history, the risk that the lender is undertaking when they are giving you a loan for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Because that's what a house costs. The interest rate is a big factor in your ability to purchase a home, but it's not the only factor. If you have 20% or more down, you're not going to have to pay that insurance. So that could lower your monthly payment. That's a good thing. So if you've saved up and you are in the group that is able to pay more than 20% down, excellent. And also, if you're able to cash in on the equity from your current home, then excellent. You may be able to, and your home has appreciated in that time frame that you've owned it, you may be able to get into a home pretty easily. The other aspect of this is interest rates are not always going to be at this level. We anticipate they'll go down at some point. Of course, this year is an election year, so that kind of throws everything out the window. The markets are very curious what's going to happen this fall with the election, what the administration would do once it gets into office next January, whether that's the current president or another president, what would happen financially to the markets. So things are going to kind of stay about where they are right now. I think that's the best estimate that I've heard from experts out there, I've heard from my office, my brokers, people that are in the know, so to speak, for real estate, probably in the 6s and 7%. So don't get discouraged, but it may be a good opportunity if you are looking to sell or you have to sell. You're going to have a lot less competition. And if you are looking to buy, again, you're going to have less competition out there for buyers because people are maybe holding off a little bit on not buying. So there's lots of pros, actually, to having higher interest rates and having a market that's maybe not as active as it was a couple of years ago. So there's some positives to that. Again, there's negatives if you would like to move, or if you have a situation where it's an option that you'd like to exercise. You don't absolutely have to move. So think about those things when you're considering moving. Also, look into home equity loans if you'd like to fix up your current house, and get it ready for when there's a little bit, a better market for selling. You can fix it up now, maybe wait a couple of years, then put it on the market then. So lots of things. Obviously, I'm a realtor. It's always a good time to buy or sell a house. You can always make that argument that it depends on your situation. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. There are lots of great agents here in town, but I'd love it to at least interview for the honor of working for you. My phone number is 651-402-6356. My website is tombullingtonhomes.com. And I specialize in Hastings, but I'm also licensed in all around Minnesota and Wisconsin. So take care and have a great day.